This is a photo I took on a very warm afternoon in Miyajima with my Ricoh GRIII. It has a chance to become one of the few shots I will remember from this year, very iconic, a deer in the foreground and a floating torii in the background well balanced in the frame. The deers were one of the few subjects I had for this day because, to my surprise, Miyajima was the most empty I've seen it in months. I guess the humid heat of Japanese summer has something to do with that. But anyway, let's go back a few hours earlier, at the start of that afternoon photo walk. I opted for the GR3 this time, as I wanted to shoot carefree, using mostly the snap focus, not having to worry about my focus, trying to capture interesting moments and compositions. Finally, after many days locked in the editing cave, I went outside to take some photos. The last few days have been sunny with god-tier light, but when I decide to go out, here comes the pale grey sky. Instead of jumping straight on the next ferry to bring me to Miyajima, I just had a look out of the ferry terminal to grab this shot. I just like the balance between the boat approaching on the left and the strong geometry of the structure on the right. It's a simple composition based on a rule of third, but I think the muted tones and the open space give it a calm cinematic feel. I also like that you can barely see the mountains fading in the haze. It adds depth without being distracting. The conditions were not promising, but I still had some hope for later in the day, and I thought that I would enjoy this afternoon of shooting no matter what. After I went through the gates to jump on the ferry, I noticed this group of students waiting for the ferry, and I thought it could be a good opportunity for a silhouette shot. Despite the soft light under the roof, it became contrasty enough to kind of clip the shadows. I had to crouch down to make sure that the subjects didn't blend too much into the background. You can see how their torso and heads lands above the line between the sea and the land. And going down also helped me to bring in more of the mountains in the frame. The idea was the same for the next two shots, and I am not mad about how they look, but unfortunately I did not adjust my position enough, so the tip of the subject's head is falling right on the line between the sea and the land. It might be a detail for some, but improving your shot by a few percent, paying attention to those details, is what can separate an average shot to a good or even a great one. I circled around the ferry trying to find something or someone interesting in the short 10-minute ride to the island, and eventually I stumbled upon this. What caught my eye here were the three distinct colors: red, green, yellow. I liked how they stood evenly spaced, all looking ahead towards the island. You also get a glimpse of the torii gate in the distance, small, a bit hidden, and I kind of enjoy how it contrasts with the bold colors right in front of me. This shot also satisfies the rule of three, which you may be aware of if you've been following the channel for a while. I love the ferry terminal on Miyajima. It looks very minimal and quite peaceful. I took this shot of it, but it doesn't really work. There is people in the background, and the two persons on the left side are just in front of a vending machine, ruining any sort of subject separation. I guess it would have been better to have only one person in the frame, working more around this area. When starting to make my way towards the centerpiece of Miyajima, I saw this woman and I liked her hair and colorful outfit. I think I also got pretty lucky with the timing. The posture and the way she walked felt very confident in a way, pairing well with her pretty bold fashion. I couldn't capture the next one very well with my GoPro, but I saw this woman stopping to take a photo with her phone, and as it is, I thought it could make a simple composition as she was placed between the stone lantern and the tree on the right side. I was not expecting that, but luckily two birds came in to fill the frame on the left side, which really helps this shot. Without them, the left side would have felt very empty, and for this shot I had to thank the GR3 snap focus that gives me this spontaneity. I quite like the simplicity of this next scene: soft tones, minimal elements, and a closed oyster stand. There's also something about the fact that the stand is closed. You get a hint that it's not a peak touristy season, and that calm match well with the color palette of the scene. This one had some potential. I saw the white car lit perfectly in this little pocket of light, but I rushed the framing. The gap between the two vehicles is too tight. If I had moved just a bit more to the right, I could have opened that space and cleaned the right edge of the frame. Shortly after that, I noticed this weird mirror texture on the sliding door of a little shop. I guess it was a kind of sticker glued to the door, but in a quite approximative way, creating all this texture and little portion of mirror. I thought having someone walking to the frame could add another layer to the photo, but I guess I messed up the timing, and in this photo we barely understand that there is people in the frame. There was some potential because their red cap was adding another colorful touch. So I think I like this second version better, without anyone, showcasing more of the yellow storefront with the meat kanji, Niku, that stands out in the top left corner. I feel sorry for the tourists coming all the way to Miyajima right now because this nice 5-storied pagoda is under construction. From this side street, just a minute away from the main busy one, you have this nice angle on the pagoda, but I guess this is not the right timing to get the shot. There's something I like about this next one. Maybe it's the attitude of the two workers. Their positions feel well balanced in the frame, and there is this leading line coming from the bottom right corner that pulls your eye into the frame and naturally leads you through the whole image, from the van to the workers and then to the old storefronts in the back. Recently for me the whole idea of doing street photography in a more frontal and for some people in a more traditional way is constantly debating in my own head. Do I like it? What would be my purpose of doing it? Sometimes I have answers and sometimes I don't. It's a photography genre that I respect very much, and on that I have no doubt, but all that to segue onto the next shot. I saw this guy wearing a very colorful t-shirt, so I took the shot. I also like the backlighting and the big Torii in the background, but apart from his shirt there is nothing too special, no gesture or particular action in the scene. So recently I've been liking capturing more this kind of scenes, a bit more further back and seeing it as a spectator. Here we have 3 people that brings a nice balance, rule of 3, all that, you know what I mean, and the deer on the left side for a very Miyajima scene. This next one is quite funny, I thought. The guy and the deer seemed like two friends chilling and taking a break to cope with the heat. The guy was so absorbed in whatever he was doing, which let me going quite close without being noticed. This tree next to the big Torii has such a funky shape that his trunk goes left and right and comes fully parallel to the ground. This gives you the chance to take a photo with the upper half of the frame fully covered to add a bit of mystery. The shot I got was taken at the right timing. If we look at the two-person stride, they are both perfectly landing their left foot at the same time, but then the timing was not good if we look at their shadow blending with the shadow on the left side. There is no gap and it kind of ruins the shot. It looks like it was impossible to match the perfect shadow placement with the perfect stride. Then I want to talk a bit about the cost of changing system. Not in terms of buying new gear, but the loss of mastery you suffer from switching between systems. I have Sony as my main photo and video setup. I have a Ricoh GRIII for photos that I used to use a lot more before, but now it's very sporadic. And I have the Hasselblad X2D that I don't really know what to do with. Taking the Ricoh for a spin once in a while is fun, and I did have a lot of fun shooting with it on this afternoon, but I was a bit less optimistic when I put the files in my computer and noticed how dark the images were. The system is different, how it meters the light and how you should adapt your exposure based on the situation is not like my Sony gear, and somehow everything was very underexposed. Luckily there's some latitude and a lot of details in these files that I could get my shots to a decent look, but they would have looked better with a better starting exposure. That's the kind of cost you may have to pay when you have different systems and you don't switch frequently enough. You forget how to properly expose or what you can expect from the autofocus, all these kind of things, leading to taking photos that do not maximize the potential of a situation. It may sound boring, but having a camera system and sticking to it is what will ensure consistency in your shooting and the files you will get. I took a few of these images trying to show a summer day that slows everyone down. In summer here we have the kind of weather that forces you to take breaks wherever you can. I like how this man sat under the shade right by the stone pillar, blending smoothly into the scene. Behind him the shrine is not the focus, but it adds a lot of context and a nice pop of color. The next one is a bit of a graphic shot. I used the roof edge in front of me to clean up the top of the frame, letting the repetition of the shutters and the signage do most of the work. I went for a tilted composition to add some energy to the shot, and simply because I thought it looked nice, making all the lines converging on the right side. The man looking back has just enough of a human element to break the pattern and make you wonder what was he looking at. And now we circle back to the first shot I showed in this video. I won't add too much about it, just maybe that I got very lucky with the posture of the deer, looking to the right as if he was enjoying the view of the floating torii. If he was looking to the other side, the shot wouldn't have this much impact, I guess. I took a last series of shots using my Sony a7C II that I initially brought only to take videos, but maybe staying too long in my office working on the next project made me forget how to organize my shoot, and making sure that I bring spare batteries, especially for the Ricoh that is known for its poor battery life. I hope you liked the video. Going back outside taking photos felt so good. Now that the desk work is almost done, I will have more time to take more photos and make more videos along the way. So thanks for watching, see you soon, bye.